One. Welcome back, folks, to yet another happy episode of the Jimmy O Show. It's always happy after a Green Wave victory, and as you all know, it's been a lot. There've been a lot of those since. Actually, I'll take this back for our guys on the show. Since the Jimmy O show started in the 2022 season, let's see, there were 12 wins that year. Uh, what 11 the next year? Some 11-1 plus 11, and then 9 last year, and now 6-1 on this season. So there's been a lot more shows after a win than after a loss. We love that, and we're thankful for all the support of our great subscribers for doing their part to make that happen, and of course to be able to give us the ability to bring on our players of the week this week for the East Carolina game. I'm Jimmy Ordeneaux, your host and a founder of the Fear the Wave Collective. Please be sure to go to fearthewavecollective.com to check out how you can subscribe, how you can get involved, how you can continue to support the collective as we support these guys in their athletic endeavors. So with that, gentlemen, the business out of the way, how are we doing this evening, Tuesday evening?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good, doing good.
Very good, man. Well, look, we're here to kind of talk through, I guess, look back some, right? I know you guys have flushed it. It's been, well over 24 hours since the East Carolina game, but last Thursday night's win, it was a stressful time for me because I was at my son's high school game watching a very close game that they came out on top, but I was in Baton Rouge watching that and watching you guys on my phone. And, it was one of those games that's like the mark of a good team, in my estimation, is that everybody wins when they play a really good game, right? Everybody can win when everything's hitting on all cylinders. But the mark of a really good team is a team that can win when they're playing against a good team and not playing necessarily their best, or at least not finishing things as you would like, but to still have the grit to come out on top is huge. And certainly the guys responsible for that are on this call, many of the guys. So let's start with the introductions. We're here with, let's see. So our offensive player of the week was a guy, you might call him Zycarl. We call him CJ Lewis, with the huge catch. Finally break the seal, get into the end zone for the crucial first touchdown of the game. How you doing tonight, CJ?
I'm doing great.
Very good to hear. Our special teams player of the week, who's also the conference special teams player of the week, Patrick, is getting to be a habit, man. Getting you on here as the conference special teams player of the week. How you doing tonight, Patrick?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very good, man. Great to have you back. Actually, I guess the beneficiary of some of those stalled drives, Patrick, with 4 field goals in the game. And then 2, this is unusual. We don't often have 2 defensive players of the week, but both of these guys stood out so much, couldn't break the tie, had to give them both honors. And so we're here with Isaiah Shine at cornerback, who's been the starting cornerback, number 11 out there all season long, and who's just gotten better and better every week. How you doing, E?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing great, man. Great to have you on. And then a newcomer. So Isaiah, you're a newcomer. You were on as a job taker last year. So this is not your first rodeo on the Jimmy O show. First time as a player of the week, but a guy who's never been on our show, Jah'rie Garner. How are you doing, Jah'rie? Great to have you, buddy.
Nice to be here, man. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Excited to have you. And then our job takers of the week, we got a veteran job taker of the week. The defensive job taker of the week, a guy who is no stranger to the shows, continue to put on good work every week. Chase Green. How we doing, Chase?
Good, Chase. Good, I'm good. Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Great to have you back. And then a newcomer, a guy came to us by way of TCU, had a little injury issue in the fall, but now he's back healthy and contributing to the team. Mitch Hodnett. How you doing, Mitch?
I'm doing good.
Good. And finally, the man who's got a harder name than me, Ordeneaux. Ordeneaux's got nothing on Ing, but Michael, you got to give it to me, man. The special teams player of the week, Michael. That's not so bad. It kind of rolls off the tongue once you get used to it, brother, man. We can work with that.
Yes, sir.
If I have a fifth child, maybe I'll name him Igbanagami. Well, I didn't quite get it yet. Not rolling quite yet, man. We'll get there though.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh man. So look, man, I kind of alluded to it. Like, let's start on the offense. I guess CJ, because it's a testament really to kind of, like I said, grit, man. Look, up and down the field, we're taking care of business. You know, they really couldn't slow us down. Great passing night all around. We would get in the red zone and silly things would happen. You know, we had a fumble. You know, we had some penalties in the red zone, uncharacteristic penalties. You know, for different reasons, those drives break down. You know, I guess but then we get the two huge touchdowns late. Of course, your big play, you're explosive, and then the final with Javen. You know, what's the key in your mind, like when you're going through like those struggles, right, where you're doing everything right, nine out of 10, and then we getting down and everything's breaking down at the end, and not getting the pay dirt. Like, how you keep our head in our game, and so like to keep fighting, keep battling, to do what we got to do in offense to finish the job in the very end.
I really feel like it's just staying together, not being separate, like arguing, any sort of things like that. We just gotta stay together and execute and just finish our drives. That's really much
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And look, man, we gotta we gotta let the world know that Green Wave Nation, right? You're Zycarl in the program, but I know everybody calls you CJ. And I remember Coach Summerall saying, "Man, I'm telling you this, like this is last year. Like CJ Lewis, man, this kid's got something. You know, he's coming along. You know, he's gonna be a guy for us." And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't want to admit it. I'm like, but who's CJ, man? I don't know who CJ is, but it's Zycarl. So is that friends, family? Is it CJ's?
Yeah, that's friends and family.
Okay, but it's all right if a Green Wave fan runs into you at the boot, or, well, maybe not at the boot, at a restaurant in town. You know, they call you CJ too.
Yeah, that's
All
cool.
right, all good, man. Because they're gonna get to know you a lot better, man. Like, dude, you've been making, you just kind of been like a little on the radar, but making plays every time called upon all year long. It was great to see you be able to get the big one on Thursday night of last week.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
another story of really perseverance, Jah'rie. I remember, this is inside. You don't know this, but I remember last spring. So this is the spring before before last season, right? Like, so Coach Summerall's first spring, when you went down with injury, man, it was like he's like, my best dude at Bandit just got hurt, right? And of course we saw, look, Fobbs White, Aiden ended up playing Bandit. We ended up having some guys, some pretty damn good players there last year, but in his mind, at least at that time, he said he was my best guy, you know, and then things didn't go the way you would draw him up, right? Big injury, missed all of last season. How's it feel to be sort of back in the fold, being part of this mix, and obviously one of the players of the week, obviously doing it really well, right? How's it feel to kind of have made that journey all the way back and to now be a contributor?
Truly, man, it's a blessing because I didn't think I would get to the point I was through the injury. There was a lot of ups and downs, but I kept my head focused. I kept playing, and I just stayed true to what I believe in, man. That's hard work and dedication. So now I'm here.
Yep.
It's just truly amazing to play with my teammates again. That was the biggest thing, just losing those guys, and now I'm able to perform and show the world what I can do.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's also a nice bonus having a local Catholic League product, performing for the Green Wave. You look, don't be shy about recruiting some more of those local guys over for us. We got go see my old teammate Coach Phillips at Easton. Go grab some of his guys. Let's go see Coach Brown at Carr. Let's go. Hey, you can go get Easton Roy. You can walk to there from St. Aug to Brother Martin. Man, we got some guys we can put you on, but
Yeah.
But yeah, man, look, it was so cool because, like, we're deep, man. We're deep. We're talented on the defensive side of the ball. Easy, you know all about that too. Kind of rising through the competition, right? Like, there's a lot of dudes to get playing time. And you gotta. I guess it's kind of fulfilling, right? Like, from y'all's perspective, like, you got to have a lot of self-belief. But when you're on the field, when you're able to crack the lineup and to be part of the rotation on a team that's talented, it's got to. I guess, and this is Jah'rie, this is an easy. It's kind of for both of y'all. It's something that's validating, I guess. Like because it ain't because of injury or whatever else. Like, you're on the field because you're a ball player.
That's the biggest thing because coming from the injury, I kind of second guessed myself that I still play to my Green Wave standard and still hold my own. And being out there, it just gave me the confidence to continue doing what I was doing, to continue to go out there, continue to work, and continue to put my head down. Like this.
Yeah, no doubt. How about you, Easy? Like, I guess you would tell us you probably always believed that that was going to be your job, but I can't imagine it was never something that was completely certain to you. Yet here you are, you've been the starting field corner for the entire season. Just sort of that validation that you get from knowing that, man, you had to beat out some experienced, good football players in order to man that position.
Yes, it just came from just working, like keeping my head down and work. Like I've been working since the spring. Like I remember this talk I had with Coach JJ. I told him like before like spring practice even started, I told him like this year I'm going to start. I'm going to work for it. Like it don't matter what it takes, I'm going to work for it. That's what I did. Like all spring, I worked. Even like after practice, I still work. I could do some footwork drills, some back pedal drills. Just doing like the usual. So I always work. So
Yeah, one thing I know, and one thing I know is about they tried to make you like a target, right? Like after, I guess Joker got himself a pick early in the very first game. Javion got a pick, and they're like, oh, well, we're gonna throw it 11, and and early in the season it was like, look, he's where he needs to be, is gonna come. He's making the tackles right, like they're not getting big plays, and now the kind of that gap's been reduced. Like that, the big
yeah,
one's coming, man. The big you feel it coming on. It's like you've adjusted completely at this point to the college game. It looks like when I'm watching it as a fan. Does it feel that way? Like you kind of feel like a veteran now, right?
yeah. So I feel very comfortable once I know like where I'm supposed to be, what the coverage is, and I'm confident in my technique. So like the game slow down for me. So like everything becomes much easier for me.
Yeah, very good, man. Yeah, you can see it. It's obvious watching the game. And then I guess let me transition a little bit to a special teams game. We're gonna go talk to our boy Patrick. Patrick, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's easy. I mean, he's got some return experience. CJ, he's demonstrated his ability to make a big play, but dude, we got to work on our ability to make a man miss on the sideline. You know, I don't know, Patrick. Like you got the big opportunity, dude, and just got run out of bounds, man.
Yeah, I definitely have to cut that one back. I was Coach Summer. We always practice that during Thursday's practice, and one of the practices I cut back, and Coach Summer said just make sure you stay outside, and it was 4th and 11, so I probably should have cut back and put my shoulder down and try to make a play because it was 4th and 11. You either get it or you don't. So definitely have to execute on that better next time. But yeah.
No, that's all right. Hey, look, I think you've allowed like one return or something all year, and you haven't missed a field goal yet. So you just keep doing that, man. We don't have any problem if you don't make men miss. Although I do have to tell you, man, my fantasy always I was the tight end in the PAT field goal unit, and every practice when we did the PAT drills, we would do the fire at the end, and I'd get to go out for a pass. It was like the highlight of the practice was like, every now and then the hold of Jeff Curtis, my holder would give me a little shine and throw the ball to the big man. I don't think I could actually do that in a game. I think at the time that was against the eligibility rules because I was a 68. But in my brain, like it was going to happen one day. I was going to get to make a one-handed catch and score the touchdown. I think we all have all those that don't get to score touchdowns. We all have those dreams and visions. And you were close, man. You got to the 5. I thought you had it for a while. One guy did a good job of staying home and being able to play. But if you get called on pawn again, man, I think you'll have the moves ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, look, all right, let's go to our job takers, man, and like you've heard me allude to it with respect to Easy. He was one of these guys. Chase has been here before. I know, Chase, your time's coming. You're listening to these guys talking. You're like, man, look, I'm putting in the work. It's coming. I guess let's start there, Chase. It's nice to be that the hard work you put in is being recognized in some way, and I take it you feel your time's coming.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's just been all I can do is wait. God got me. I just gotta be patient with my time. I just keep putting in work, keep my head down like these other guys, and my time gonna come like theirs did.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And look, you got some veteran guys around in that position. The safety room's real deep, and it's coming, brother. But the you know, talking about like specifically about the opponent, East Carolina, I thought that um they presented a pretty athletic, I thought, a athletic secondary, and so it was going to be a key to the game to be able to kind of figure it out. Now, while they were athletic, we saw something because we threw it all day. I guess practice had to be rough. Was that always in the game plan? We were pass heavy in the game plan leading up to the game, or is that kind of was a surprise to everybody?
They was doing a lot. They got to do run pass. They got everything. We just gotta do our coverage to our best ability. Fit the runs. Just do what we can to give them the best look they can, so they can perform like how they did Saturday. Well,
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing I know didn't happen was you didn't give CJ that look on the deep post that gave him the 70-yard touchdown. That didn't happen in practice.
I don't think I was running with that one. That might have been somebody else.
Yeah. Well, no, the dude wearing white and purple, he definitely gave it up to him in the game, so it's all good. But I mean, pretty good receiver room. I guess they get some every now and then against you, but not too many.
Not too many. Not too many.
All
Got to do what
right.
I can do.
Yes, sir. No doubt. Mitch, man, big fella,
What's
a
going
big
on?
Texan. Man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good, good. Well, welcome to the Jimmy O Show, man. First time on. Yeah, I guess how long now? I guess my first question. I saw you. I was at the scrimmage where you got hurt. I was like, this guy's competing for a spot. Now we losing him in the scrimmage. I hate losing people in camp, right? How long you been back? How do you feel like you kind of back all the way at this point?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting back. Here and there. I mean, I definitely feel the pain, but like, just keep going. No, I can't push through. Big guy, but it definitely sucked. It was last day of camp that it happened, so it was just kind of on my mind mentally. Like, just sucked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's sometimes when and you know, I go to faith. Other people might go to other things, but it's like it's one of these things where you know the path is never promised to be easy, right? Like we're gonna always have setbacks, we're gonna have challenges, we're gonna have things that we got to overcome, but it's tough because your new place, you're proving yourself, you're getting along, and then to have something like that in the last day of camp is definitely tough. But you're bouncing back, and like you said, as a big guy, look, I remember battling it out, finishing practices with separated shoulders, not being able to not even able to get my elbow over my head and stuff, and like still trying to figure out how to get in the stance. So us linemen, we built different, man. We like a fraternity, and I'm glad we still got in today in 2025. We still got big guys that follow that philosophy. So welcome back and keep getting better, man. Your brighter times are ahead, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right, and finally, Michael. Ingben, God, say it again, please.
Igbenogany.
Imbenogamy. God, I'm screwing it up.
No, you're good.
So
You're
look,
good. It's okay. It's all
now
good.
look, my wife, when we met, she's from Mississippi. She's from rural Mississippi, and they don't have anybody with EAUX anywhere in her name. I'll tell you, it took her like 10 days after we met for her to start pronouncing my name right. And I was like, look,
Yeah.
if you can't get this right, I put her on a deadline. It's like, if you can't get this right, then I'm not gonna be able to give you the name, right? Like you're gonna have to figure this out. And like, hey, she got serious, she learned it, it was good. So it took her a little bit, and you got that trump card for any young lady you meet that, you know, that you could tell she really likes you. If she wants to prove herself, she's gonna get it down and she's gonna knock it out. So if you want this name, you got to be able to pronounce it, okay?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
so, so Mike, I get you're a freshman in the program this year. Take it.
Yes, sir.
How's your time been so far at Tulane?
It's really good. The learning process is just getting here. It's been a great experience. Just with the older guys, just learning under them. Obviously, Javion White, him being in my position group, just learning from him, and just even everybody around me in the whole defense. It's been good to learn and just to the process. Of just playing. So obviously it's being a freshman, it's hard nowadays, but you stay down, if you just trust in your work, everything will fall in place. So
That's right. Well, and look, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like successful, if you study the programs across the country that are really having success in this era, definitely count Tulane among them. Look, there's no secret. There's a lot of important recruiting that happens in a transfer portal and all that, and there's a lot more roster movement. At the same time, the very best programs are the ones that bring guys in, develop guys, and have guys buy into the culture. Like, you got to be like those. Eventually, you'll be hopefully, one of these old heads that are around here is one of the cultural leaders, right? Like, this is what Tulane football is about. You've now developed under the same coaches, you developed under the same mentors, and you get to a point where where we want to be, a playoff contender all the time. You got to have program guys that come along on that schedule and start it early, right? Start that freshman year, and we're excited to have you as part of the program, man. So
sorry.
playing spear, right? Like, and so, but you were the special teams player of the week, this job taker of the week this week. So what were your roles in the kicking game and practice for ECU?
So I start on punt PBR. Then I do kickoff return. I'm a returner. Then I do a gunner when we go punt. Obviously I just try to make the guys across me work. When it comes to Saturday nights, they're gonna see the best of the best. So it's my job and it's everybody else's job on the team, just to embrace my role to really make the guy across me better. Because at the end of the day, it shows up with our record and obviously just us as a winning program. And I'll continue to do my role every single week, wherever the coaches want me to play. Special teams, it doesn't really matter. Just really want to make the guy across from me better so we can be a successful program.
That's right, man. And look, man, iron sharpens iron, right? Like, that's what this is all about. And I've said it on the show before, but the biggest difference between the successful teams we have now and the ones that we had 10 years ago, it wasn't that those teams, say 10 years ago, didn't have some guys. They did, but you didn't have the depth of, when we talk about ironing sharpen iron. You just didn't have the quality of good football players to kind of keep pushing guys, keep making guys better and better and better every day. And that's what we have now. And you've identified it. It's a blessing to have, and that's what's so important about all these job takers. Why you get equal billing on these shows. Mitch and Michael, Jace. The reason y'all getting equal billing is because none of this happens without everybody, right, being all in. And I know that's a message Coach Summerall gets across. So, with that said, let's talk really quickly about what the task is ahead. A lot of veterans on this team, a lot of guys that were there that very cold night in West Point, New York last season. I know that didn't go the way we wanted. How much are we looking forward to, Easy, Jah'rie, guys that were here, Patrick, Chase, like, how much are we looking forward to this opportunity to kind of redeem ourselves after last year? I always make this mistake where I don't call on one person. So any of y'all can go, just whoever starts. And if anybody's got something to follow up with, go for it.
I'll say truly, man, getting on the homie to be the biggest thing for me because I wasn't being played that shit. Like, seeing the guys come back and seeing them get defeated hurted me because I knew if I was out there, I could have done something nice to change the game. So getting acted up, being physical, my job, man, that's gonna be the biggest part. So. And they took a ring from us, and we want that back. So it's gonna be a dog fight.
That's right. There's no doubt. Yeah, and look, man, I think you mentioned that it's physicality, right? Like, I think one of the hallmarks of our teams have been in the last 3, 4, 5 years is we play these academies and we're every bit as physical as them. We're more physical usually. That didn't happen one time last year, and that was a very special Army team, but that's key. Who wins the game on Saturday? Come 2:00, who won the game is the team that was the most physical, right? It made the least amount of mistakes, and that's what it's going to come down to. And I trust that you boys are ready for that challenge, right? Ain't no doubt about it. Yeah,
Sure.
looking forward to watching it. Well, guys, I've taken enough of your time. It's almost a half hour now. It's been a long Jimmy O show, but y'all are easy to talk to. You guys are a great set of guests, and appreciate you having you guys on. And so, look, I look forward to seeing many of you again later in the season. In the meantime, folks, we're going to sign off now for the Jimmy O Show. Again, please be sure to subscribe at fearthewavecollective.com. You will not regret it. Lots of great content in addition to these types of interviews. Look, we got the film room with the coordinators. We got recruiting information. We got the pre and post game shows. We just got lots of great content for everybody. So till next time, folks, roll wave.
Away.
Sure.
Away.
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 All right.